All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our December Digital Digest. I am Theresa Krack, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. I am currently joined by Grace and Marina, and we are hoping Elaine will join us as we go through. And we're going to go ahead and kick things off and let you know what's going on this month with SWE PNW and all things SWE. So we're going to start off with our events and activities highlights so that you know what's actually coming up and things that you can do. We'll touch on our section business. We'll promise we'll keep this to the interesting stuff. We've got a couple things on the region and society level. And then we've got our rotating topics. And this month we actually have 3 special rotating topics. We're going to be highlighting We Locals, what's going on with our local scholarship program with SWE PNW, and then Marina's going to tell us all about being secretary. And then at the end, we will open it up for an Ask Me Anything session. And we'll be taking comments either out on the YouTube live link where we're broadcasting or in the Facebook events. We've got helpful watchers helping us keep an eye on those questions. So please post your questions there as we go through the event. And we will go ahead and get started with our minute or so with PNW. All right, so welcome to the minute or so with SWE PNW for December. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and ask Grace. Grace, what do we have on our docket for this month in terms of activities and events that our members can get engaged with?
Well, we have a lot going on in the next few months. The first of which is this weekend at our annual holiday party. And then next week is our PSEC scholarship Wait, that's not supposed to say PSEC, is it?
Yeah, that is the PSEC scholarship, or its awards deadline, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay. So the PSEC awards deadline is on 12/15, where we will be nominating several people for awards. And then on 12/16, we'll be having our book club for winter holiday reads. And then we'll also be conducting a book club feedback survey as we're looking to change that in the next few months and see what's working and see what's not working. And then by the end of this month, we have our collegiate scholarship application deadline. So if you are a college student, or if you know a college student that is looking for scholarships, this is a really great opportunity to get some extra money from us. And then just after the first of the year, we'll be reviewing those scholarship applications and awarding some scholarships to some wonderful students. And then on the horizon is our We Local Portland, which is in April.
Those sound like really great things. About that annual holiday party, can you tell me more about that, Grace?
Yeah, so this is a really exciting event because we actually are having it at the Living Computers Museum in Seattle. So we'll have private access to this museum, which should be really fun.
Oh, that's great. Are you guys doing anything cool at the party?
Oh yeah, lots of things. The first of which is an ugly holiday sweater contest, and we'll be taking pictures of everyone who wants to participate and sharing them through our Instagram account, which is at SWE PNW, SWE.PNW. And then other than that, we'll have some great food, including some cheese and seasonal fruit, some Marina sandwiches, Mediterranean grilled vegetables, almonds, a trio of savory spreads, marinated olives, and a few desserts as well.
Oh, that sounds yummy. What else are you going to have there?
So we're also going to be conducting a silent auction, and so that we have a few baskets prepared, and there's some hints of what the themes are for these baskets, and this is Home Sweet Seattle, Girls Night In, and Be That Engineer. So those are a few spoilers if you're interested in picking up some gifts at this event.
All right, that's all great information. So for those that have tickets, I hope you all have a great time and we'll see you there. If you don't have a ticket, go get a ticket. We'll make sure we put the Eventbrite in the link when we post out the video here. And you can check our Facebook page for some interesting factoids and countdowns to Saturday with the sign up link. So we hope we'll see you there. So one of the other things, Grace, I know that you mentioned is that we've got scholarships, and actually I think this might be going over to Grace or Marina. I forget who we have talking about scholarships, but we got scholarships, right? So somebody tell me about scholarships.
Hey, so we have 3 scholarships for collegiates this year. If you know anyone in college, definitely encourage them to apply. The deadline for that is December 31st, so it's coming up pretty quick now. And then also, if you're interested in volunteering, this is a great volunteer opportunity because in early January, we'll be looking for volunteers to help us review the scholarships and select the winners of them. So let us know if you're interested in helping out with that.
Oh, that's a great opportunity for some potential low impact post holiday reading as you recover from the holidays. So yeah, please reach out to our scholarships email to offer your help if you're interested. And so now you all may be wondering, how else can I connect with SWE PNW? We've got, again, several great ways for you to connect with us. We have a web page up there. We have a Google Calendar, which has all those events and activities that we've got. And it even has sync instructions, so you can sync that to your mobile device or to your Google account in Gmail and see that on your own calendars. Connect with us on Facebook and make sure you're signed up for our email list. We want to make sure that you actively know that our email list has options for you to pick your sort of subscription sets. We send out emails to everybody, but then you can also opt in for focused emails on professional development or outreach or social and networking and a book club and online. So make sure you check that out and customize your settings as you want to tailor how you get the information from SWE PNW. So with that, that is our minute or so-ish with SWE PNW. From there, we will go ahead and talk about the SWE business and the behind the scenes. So up first, we're going to talk section business with our president, Grace. So Grace, tell us what's going on at the section level.
Yeah, so our next executive council meeting is on December 17th at 10 a.m. And these are open to anyone. So if you're interested in hearing how we plan things and how we lead this organization, feel free to stop by. There's information on our Google Calendar about that if you are looking for details. And then another thing that we're looking into right now is our involvement with Puget Sound Engineering Council, also known as PSEC. So we're looking into our membership with this organization and addressing some concerns that we have, as well as looking into the awards that are due in the middle of this month. And then other than that, we're looking at succession planning. We'll be kicking off our nomination committee selection in January. So this is a really important time where we're looking for our next generation of leaders. So if you're interested in a leadership position, feel free to reach out to us. Or if you're interested in volunteering with the nomination committee, which is responsible for putting together the ballot and kind of supervising the election, that we need volunteers for that as well.
All right, excellent. And the nomination committee is actually headed by our president-elect Elaine, which I believe has joined our call. So Elaine, do you want to say hi to our audience today?
Hello.
Hey, Elaine. So from that, we're going to bounce over, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about our task forces in terms of what we got in terms for people to get engaged with by topic. So Grace, do you want to just highlight a few of these?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. So we have a few special task forces. The first is related to that election that I just mentioned. We're going to try to develop standard operating procedures for our election, just so that we have more guidance for our volunteers. We're also looking into a section travel reimbursement policy, section bylaws review and update, and this is especially important as things at the national level are changing. And then our other special task force, the glory of paperwork and record keeping, which I believe Theresa is leading, if you want to know any more.
So yeah, so all of these task forces right now are kind of in the development stages and we're looking for volunteers. So we've got the 2 email contacts down there. You can either contact me as your section rep through the section rep email and or Marina as secretary. We're trying to transition some of the section rep communication over to secretary with that role officially going away with the region. So please be sure to reach out to me or Marina if you're interested in any of these, and we'll put you in touch with the right people that are working on them. So thank you, Grace, for kind of walking through that with us. Which, Elaine, you've got some great timing because that means that you are up now for your We Local slide, and tell us what's going on with all of those We Local conferences.
So, as many people know or now know, there are 5 US-based We Locals. That's our new, there's no longer regional conferences. The We Locals are supposed to be based in areas that cover more than one group of people so that you can go to anyone you'd like to. That's why we usually promote the Portland one because that's the one closest to us. But the first one that's coming up in January is in Tulsa, and that is the 26th through the 28th. And after that, we have Phoenix in February from the 23rd to the 25th. Then Milwaukee, March 9th through the 11th. And then Portland, which is our local one, you know, like 3-ish hours away from us, April 6th through the 8th. And then Providence, Rhode Island ends it on the 20th to the 22nd. There are 2 international ones, which maybe we'll highlight in the future, in future AMAs, but I didn't put it on here just because I'm more want to get the word out about the local ones here. There's a lot going on with prep for We Local Portland. The speaker submissions are due on December 22nd. I don't know how hard that deadline is, but I know she's still looking for more speakers for the event, and they just opened up the student submissions for any of their research that they're doing or any white papers that they want to test out. That just opened up and it's due on January 12th. They are having issues with registration last time I checked, so it's TBD. It was supposed to go live, I believe, last week. So hopefully that will get fixed soon, and we will let people know either on the Facebook or the blog or all of the above. And I think you can at least register for your hotel, and that's within the links for We Local Portland. And a big goal that the committee has for We Local Portland is they're trying to get $100,000 in sponsorship from local companies. And they are asking those of us in the Pacific Northwest of Seattle area to help them out. So there is a prospectus online that you can pull down. And if anyone has any other companies that they think would like to support, I think the smallest amount is $500 and it goes up to a lot more. But and it lays out the different amounts that they can do. Some companies, if they feel inspired, they can support more than one We Local. Obviously, we're trying to help Portland first, but if anyone wants to do any other ones, they have their own different tiers of what they're doing. And this We Local will be the last Region J award. So that's for the students and professionals, the awards that will be given out by the regions. There's no Region J meeting, but there will be the awards. Those award packets should be available sometime in January. And if anyone is interested in being on the committee to review the awards packets, you could either email our governor, or you can email me, even at the president-elect email, as I'm your Region J secretary, so I can push that on to Lisa as well. And those are the big things going on with Portland.
That all sounds really exciting. I'm really looking forward to the Portland We Local, and maybe 1 or 2 of the other ones that I'm looking at going to as well for my LCC role. So thank you for sharing. And I hope to see lots of SWE PNW people traveling down to Portland, because it's always good to have a good section showing at the local conferences. Which now, if we step away from our We Local conference information, let's highlight a few things going on at the region and the society business section. So Elaine, do you want to start us off?
So the first thing that I noticed that's going on at the society business is they are I don't know how long this partnership has been going on for, unfortunately, but they have partnered with iRelaunch, which is to help with the new initiative that's been within the last couple of years of helping women re-engage with the workforce after leaving for whatever reason
and wanting to come back. And they have a white paper that was co-written by people who work at iRelaunch and I believe some SWE leaders. But the website to kind of figure out more about it is the one that's on here, the reentry.swe.org. And there's a lot of great content out there to help people get back into the workforce, which is always a big thing that we want to promote. You know, like there's never any reason to not be an engineer if that's your goal.
All right, excellent. And I'll jump on the next two bullets because I think I was the one that added them. We want to wish a great congratulations to the newest member on our global front. We have a affiliate now up in Calgary, Canada. That was officially approved this week, actually on the 5th. So SWE continues to expand its global support for women engineers and those that support, women in STEM fields. So that's, a really great accomplishment to get that affiliate up and running. And also, because the holiday times are approaching, don't forget to add the SWE store to your holiday shopping list. They have a whole slew of SWE products that are kind of new and improved from, with the new logos and all of that great stuff. We've got the web page there. You can also find them on Amazon. And as we've mentioned before, we're going to make sure all the links that we're talking about here are live in the comments on the Facebook event and the YouTube thing once the video posts. So you'll be able to click on them and check that all out. And then on the next piece, from the society level, there was a recent governance webpage update. If you're following along and have subscribed to the text, maybe you got that text this week. I know I did, which is why I figured out that there was a whole bunch of new stuff up there. Some of the stuff that they posted is they put the detailed approved bylaws changes up on the governance page. So there's a link that you can go and look at and see what the before and after states were in terms of what was voted on at SWE 17. They've also put the establishment of the Leadership Summit Task Force and the Senior Member Engagement Task Force. So there's a couple of good pamphlets on what those task forces are looking at, and if you've got feedback, who to contact, and kind of their target, measures of success. So that's a lot of great information on those task forces so that you can see what the society is looking at. And then we have this handy dandy new graphic. It's kind of identifying what is changing and what won't be changing. So in this case, what's part of what's changing is the section and member support. It is going to be done, and some parts are going to be done by HQ. Some are going to be through online tools and resources, and then some of it is going to be through the Leadership Coaching Committee, the LCC. And it's a really good sort of graphic to identify which section support pieces are kind of coming from which directions. One of the things that won't be changing, sections are still going to provide their outreach and networking and professional development, recognitions and scholarships and mentorship. That's still at the section level. And then the dues rebates that come back that help fund each section's budgets will still be issued in the same manner and timing as they are currently. So hopefully this helps everybody get their head wrapped around a little bit of the impact of the governance changes that are now going through and being implemented after the vote at SWE 17. So that is what we think you should know about our SWE business at the section, region, and society level. So with that, we are going to go to our official rotating topic for this month and invite Marina to tell us all about being secretary. So Marina, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Marina Dannecker, and I'm the secretary for this year. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and what I'm doing with SWE PNW. So my engineering background is in material science and engineering. I'm currently working as a materials and processes engineer. In my free time, I like cooking, reading, playing sports, and enjoying the outdoors in the Pacific Northwest. Also, lately I've been taking improv classes, and that's a lot of fun. I joined SWE as a sophomore in college. I was on a lot of the SWE committees at UCLA, and then I helped plan our evening with industry. In my senior year, I was president of our section. So when I moved up to the Pacific Northwest, I knew I wanted to continue to be involved in SWE, so I joined SWE PNW last year. I was on the Professional Development Committee and helped to put on some events like technical tours. And then why did I want to be the secretary for SWE PNW? That's because I'm passionate about SWE and I really want to help make the Pacific Northwest section run as efficiently as possible. And I think secretary is a great role to do that in.
All right, excellent. So what do you want to tell us about your responsibilities as secretary?
Well, secretary has a lot of different things that it's responsible for. So one of my main responsibilities is recording the minutes at our executive committee meetings, which we have every month. And then I'm also responsible for maintaining all the records of the section. I serve as our PSEC representative, and for those of you who don't know, PSEC is the Puget Sound Engineering Council. So it's an organization that has representatives from all the local chapters of engineering societies. And some things that they put on are mentoring nights for local universities, an engineering awards banquet every year, and that's what the awards with the deadline next week are for. So if you are interested in being nominated for one of those, you should definitely let us know so that we can get your application in by December 15th. And then they also hold an engineering fair every year. So I attend the PSEC meetings once a month and find out what information our section needs to know. And then I also support the virtual brand team committee with all of the online events and tools and records that they're developing and keeping for us.
Excellent, and we definitely appreciate that support over on the VBT side. So I guess one of the other things I want to ask you, Marina, is what do you have going on so far in FY18? What have you been working on?
So far this year, as I mentioned, I'm responsible for keeping track of the notes at our EC meetings. And one new thing that we did this year is we switched to a new slide deck so that all the officers can prepare their notes and talking points ahead of time and have that ready for people's review prior to the meeting. So that's a new way to help keep us organized and on task and make sure we have all the important information captured. So in addition to my live meeting minutes, we also have the slide deck to go off of. I also created an updated contact list of all the new officers so that we can all easily get in touch with each other. And I created a spreadsheet to keep track of all of SWE PNW's possessions like banners and keys and other items that tend to get handed off from person to person and we want to keep track of. As Theresa and Grace mentioned earlier, we started a new special task force called the Glory of Paperwork and Record Keeping, which we had our first meeting for that last month, and I've been following up with some of the action items that came out of that meeting to really assess how we keep records, when we keep records, what the expectations for records are, and how we can do a better job to make sure that all the appropriate information is captured and communicated to the right people. And then also this year we've increased the collaboration between the virtual brand team and the secretary role. So I've been assisting Theresa, our VBT lead, in things like preparing our monthly emails that go out with our event highlights and some other tasks.
And I'm going to give a shout out to you because you've also helped be one of our online hosts for our digital digest, which is always great to have somebody else to be able to come in and take on the experience of being one of our online event hosts. So shout out for that. All right, so what are you going to be working on next? What's coming down the pipeline?
So I have three main goals for the rest of the year. The first one is creating a section sponsorship prospectus. So the idea behind this is to prepare a document that describes everything that our section does and ways to get involved that we can take to companies to increase our industry partnership as a section. There's a lot of great engineering companies in the Puget Sound area, and we could be doing more to connect with them. And creating this prospectus is really the first step to encouraging that collaboration between our section and corporate partners. So I'm going to be working with our treasurer and some other people on the EC to create that. Then next, this will come out of the Glory of Paperwork Special Task Force, but establishing record-keeping best practices and setting up some groundwork for future years so that we can keep up with our documentation and make sure it's consistent. And then third, I'll be investigating how the governance changes that Theresa described earlier are going to impact the secretary role as well as other roles on the EC. So with that region level leadership going away, there'll be some changes in which roles on our section are handling which responsibilities. So I'll be looking into that and how that'll change for next year.
All right, that all sounds like some pretty great stuff there. If somebody was interested in helping with any of these, what should they do? Should they reach out to you?
Yeah, I would say the best thing to do is to send me an email at the secretary email, which is SWE.pnw.secretary@gmail.com. And I'd definitely be able to tell you all the ways that you can get involved, whether it's joining a special task force or volunteering on one of our committees or just helping out with a single event.
All right, excellent. Well, that sounds like a lot of really great stuff going on in the secretary role. And I think, as we've mentioned a couple of times here, that governance change is really going to sort of evolve that secretary role into potentially something different than what it was in the past. So, personal shout out to you, Marina, from me on behalf of the EC. Thank you for sort of helping us with this understanding as where it goes from here. So exciting things to come. All right, so with that, that is officially a wrap on our SWE PNW Digital Digest, and apparently I went backwards. There we go. So we'll just do a couple of teaser trailers here. So we've got great events coming down the pipeline for after the first year. We're working details. We're going to be doing an open house to showcase our section and how, what we do and how you can get engaged. We're working on a brunch networking series, which would also involve food as that brunch piece and some networking with great SWEsters. We're going to be doing some more focus, as you saw with the task forces, on getting some SWE business and special task force activities launched in the year. So keep an eye out for that in terms of, like, there's going to be big pieces that people can get engaged with and small pieces that people can get engaged with, and we'll take any help we can get. We're also going to be tapping the leadership coaching committee modules and presenting a couple of those. We're working on refining those topics, and we're going to try to make those as accessible as we can to our section membership, so that you guys can also learn along with the EC and the other people attending those. The last thing we want to do is we want to get the save the date out there awfully early, because our annual banquet, I know we're just coming up on the holiday party, but our annual banquet's going to be Sunday, May 6th. And Jill Teachin is a past president of the society level of SWE. She is going to come and be our speaker. So we've got a lot of great things in the work for that, and she's a great person to come and listen to with all of her experience in SWE. So mark that date on your calendar and reserve that to come out with us and SWE PNW and celebrate the end of FY18. That being said, make sure you get engaged in the second half of the year so that we can do awesome things between here and the banquet, so we have more to celebrate. So with that, I'm going to officially say that that is our thank you and see you next time, and call for last comments from our officers and leaders on the call here today. So Grace, Elaine, Marina, are there any parting thoughts that you would like to share with the section before we open it up for the AMA?
Can't wait to see you all at the holiday party on Saturday.
Yeah. Are you guys all going? I know Theresa isn't, but you'll be there? Elaine?
I'll be there, and so will
Awesome.
baby.
So
All right. As we are going to officially open it up for the AMA, and I'm checking the question spots.
I
know
don't see
Grace
anything
and
on,
Grace and Marina were helping me monitor. Anything on your guys' side?
I don't see anything on the YouTube channel right now.
I don't see anything on the Facebook page.
All right, I am going to vamp because I know we've got a little bit of a delay in terms of when the broadcast catches up to us. I'm going to go check the SWE PNW group. We have a member forum. So if you follow us on Facebook, you can follow our page, and then you can participate in our discussions over in our Facebook group. You can search for it by looking for SWE PNW member forum. And of course, this is the day that the internet decides to go really slow. All right. I know we do a little bit of vamping here at the end just to make sure that the broadcast catches up. Anything that you guys are seeing on your sides yet? I'm going to guess no.
No, I
And
haven't
I'm
seen
not
anything
seeing
yet.
anything out in the group either. Okay, so I think we've probably given it enough time for our video live playback to catch up to where we're at. And if we're not seeing any questions, I would say that is a great digital digest for the month. Thank all the officers here, Elaine and Grace and Marina. Thank you for joining us and sharing a lot of information about what's going on at our SWE section level, the region and society level, and even with our secretary position. So thank you, ladies, for joining us, and we will officially call our digital digest closed for this month. Thank you and have a great night.
Thanks for hosting.
Thanks, Theresa.